Undecided Option, Part 4, Nier Reincarnation, Record of Awakening. A world of white sand dunes stretched to the horizon. In that barren desert, two girls walked. In the sand slept the remains of a lost civilization, wrecked cars, broken railroad tracks, towers that arched like bones. All were proof of humanity's life in ages past, but to the girls, it was all only sun and wind-bleached dreams shrouded in sand. Distant dreams. In the heat, the pig-tailed Fio idly remembers something from the past. Before she came to Earth, she was in the cage. The cage, a digital world in the data server on the moon filled with towers of stone. There, records of the extinct race of humanity were stored. In the cage, the wandering Fio met the monster Lavanya. He became her dear friend and saved her from loneliness. He and Fio traveled the cage together and saw the records of many worlds and heard many prayers. At the end of their journey, they met the white-haired girl who now walked ahead of Fio. She saw that the white-haired girl had lost her dear friend and thought to be by her side. That was why Fio left the moon. She chose to leave Lavanya and come to Earth. Now they walked in this white desert, searching for the white-haired girl's friend. It was Fio's idea to take this journey. But the travel was harder than they expected. The blazing sun drained Fio's energy. The white-haired girl did not notice and pressed on ahead. "Hey, Kano-chan!" Fio called to the girl in front of her. Kano-chan. That was the nickname Fio gave to the white-haired girl. Him, Kare, named her Kanojo. Kanojo, so Kano-chan. "I wonder, can we rest?" Fio asked, and her stopped and spun around to face her. "That's fine." Her shifted her gaze from Fio to the distance beyond. "What is that?" Fio looked where her looked. In the white distance appeared a black form. It seemed to be a great black box, and it gave off a clamor of noise as it approached. "Maybe we should run away." Fio grew frightened and took her hand to escape. The sand swallowed their feet, making it hard to run. The black box came closer and closer to the scrambling pair. Run. Run. Fio and her spotted a long pipe peeking from the sand. It looked easier to run on than sand. The two jumped onto it together. With a roaring sound, the pipe lifted into the air. The pair screamed and lost their footing, clinging to the pipe so as to not fall. At least, they thought it was a pipe. It was a weapon created by the invading aliens, a machine lifeform. Out of the heaving ground flew a spiraling sandstorm. The machine lifeform weaved its long frame over the sand like a serpent. Her hand slipped. Before she could make a sound, she was flying through the air. Fio jumped after her, hand outstretched. Their hands met, and the two clasped each other as they hit the sand and tumbled. The snake-like machine lifeform turned its head to peer at the two. They were done for, or so they thought. At that moment, a crashing sound rang out. The clanging black box charged into the machine lifeform. After the impact, the giant machine lifeform curled in on itself. After a time, perhaps in fright, it dug into the sand and disappeared. "We're saved?" The pair felt relief. The black box came to them over the sand, clanking all the way. It suddenly stopped right in front of them. Out of the box appeared a machine lifeform, but it wasn't a frightening sort like the great serpent. It was shorter than Fio, like a doll made of steel. Apologies for the surprise. Fio and her were taken aback by the little machine lifeform bowing to them. Although they were designed to fight the army of humanity, it seemed not all machine lifeforms still operated as weapons. This one collected relics from humanity's past, piled them in its black trailer, and hauled them back to its base, it explained. It had spotted the giant machine lifeform approaching the girls and came to warn them. "Oh, then, what if..." Theo suddenly began speaking to the little machine lifeform. If it were collecting relics of humanity, then maybe it had a clue that would lead them to their friend they were seeking. I regret I do not possess that information. The machine lifeform continued to explain to the disappointed Theo. There were many relics at the base. Among them they may find a hint, it said. A faint hope glimmered in Theo's eyes. Maybe we can find Kano-chan's friend this way. Theo gleefully jumped into the trailer, filled with anticipation. But Her watched Theo with a very different emotion in her heart. To tell the truth, she already knew. No matter how much they searched, they would never find him. She had witnessed his final moments. But she couldn't say this to Theo, that they wouldn't ever find him. She had no idea how she would react telling her. Theo had given up her friend Lavanya to come with her. How could she show such a selfless girl her own feelings of loneliness? The engine of the trailer roared and the tires kicked up sand. They carved straight lines of tracks through the white desert.